And we have a newsmaker joining us. Naresh Arora was the strategist of Ajit Pawar. Mr. Arora, congratulations on what will be seen as an election which has settled the NCP debate. Which way is NCP heading? It is Ajit Pawar who will be carrying forward the mantle of the party.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you so much. I don't know about that settlement because elections do keep coming back in circles. But yes, for now, this round has gone to the Ajit Pawar faction.
Naresh, hi Ankit this side. I just wanted to ask you, remember one interview I read about, I was seeing somewhere, and you said it is a change, Ajit Pawar. In 5 months, whatever happened in Lok Sabha, forget that. It's a change, Ajit Pawar. I have taught him how to smile. He's smiling more little these days, and Pink is going to work. So the Ladki Behna, Pink and Ajit Pawar, finally your strategy coming through.
First of all, Ankit, thank you for noticing the interviews that I've given, but I've never said that I have made him smile. It's just that he has not been visibly smiling. So this time round, he was visibly smiling. He could be seen around smiling. And regarding the color pink, we were wanting that NCP needs to have a distinct identity apart from this, the blurring clutter of the colors that they are already there with the 6 parties in Maharashtra. So they needed to stand out. And with the Ladki Behan Yojana coming in, the kind of scheme that it was connecting with the women household and women folk force, so it was required something that which could give them a presence for which they could just feel that there is a happiness in their camp rather than the gloom of the Lok Sabha results.
But Naresh, the question here is that in terms of strike rate, of course, the NCP within the Mahayuti is done really well, and it would be seen as cohesive, fight where all the 3 alliance partners came all guns blazing. I mean, all the cylinders firing here. What do you think changed in the last 5 months? From a party which received a debilitating blow at the hands of Sharad Pawar to now, where the strike rate of NCP, Ajit Pawar is much better, much better than NCP Sharad Pawar. Over 60%.
Yeah, of course, Maria, they are going to be nearing 70%. There are a couple of seats which we are on very tight trail at the moment, but I think they'll also come through. So we'll be touching some 40 seats. Regarding the changes in the 5 months, what I would say is that the first was a realization that they need to pull up their socks. Because till now, I think the way NCP functions for the last 25 years, they have been winning in their own bastions, and there has never been a requirement for them to work as a party. So another thing was that Mr. Sharad Pawar used to play the role of that vote getter. He was the one who used to be the public face, and Mr. Ajit Pawar was the one who was running the administration. And he runs the administration so efficiently that even his critics approve of his administrative skills. And if you talk to any bureaucratic setup, they will also have the same words for him. So Mr. Ajit Pawar was to realize that his role has changed now. He needs to function as a party president and not just as the deputy chief minister. He enjoys the role of being an administrator very much, but he had to come out of his comfort zone, which he did. And another thing which people have not been knowing about it, that Mr. Ajit Pawar is a very hardworking politician who gets up at 5 o'clock, starts meeting people at 6 o'clock, but has never been doing it in a way that people would be seeing it that, okay, fine, this is one mass leader. So once he realized that there is a change of role required, and he came into his own, the Jan Samman Yatra, the adoring of the pink color, and of course the big smile, which is now, again, I think the bigger one has been pasted on his face today after the results. But these all things work together, and then there was the concentrated approach towards the number of seats to contest, because generally the jostling and the tug of war amongst the alliance partners always that who will get more seats to contest. So my role here was the first thing that they should be contesting the seats which are in winning distance, where we have a winning shot, because the numbers today are going to matter, not the numbers on the day the tickets were announced. Once that was clear, then the candidates were worked upon, the right candidate selection happened. He did give in to, he had to give up, in fact, I should say that he gave up a couple of candidates with whom he had emotions attached, because he could see that they might not be able to make through. Right. So some tough decisions on the course, hard work which he showed on the ground, and it motivated his candidates as well. Because when the Lok Sabha results were out, I remember my conversations with the MLAs that how were they feeling at that point in time. And 4 months down the line, once the elections were announced for Vidhan Sabha, the mood was completely different. And confidence is a big thing in politics, that how you think that how are you going to make it or you're not going to make it. There are certain candidates who were not even willing to contest at one point in time. And now today they are winning by 28 or 30,000 votes. So this is the kind of confidence that came back. The party worked unitedly. The presence was felt. The campaign was, by all accounts, I would say on a positive note.
More or less,
and
of course,
one major change
factors
from Lok Sabha
coming together to make that kind of victory. But Naresh, very interestingly, like you were saying, how in 5 months, you've been able to bounce back, recreate the whole image and the way things were functioning. But can I ask you, because interestingly, you worked at some point of time with the Congress party as well. Where did the Congress party and the opposition fail? Were they not able to answer the narratives that you and the Mahayuti was able to create?
And was it them holding on to an old narrative? I mean, Constitution khatre mein hai, may have worked in the Lok Sabha, but how does it work in a state election? That narrative of caste census, it may have worked in the Lok Sabha, it did not work this time around. Or do you think their strategy was wrong from the word go? Or there was too much of confidence, I mean overconfidence as we keep talking about, or complacency?
I should not be commenting on their strategy now that I'm not working with them, but because this question has been asked and I am on the opposite side, what I see is that they were complacent to start with. After the Lok Sabha, they thought it was a done deal. And based on that, I could see that in the last 5 months, the playground was left open for the youth players to have a field day. And Congress or their alliance partners came to the playground very late in the game. By then, I think the match was already over. The Ladki Bahin Yojana had penetrated and disseminated in the way that they could not have an answer to it. With the Ladki Bahin Yojana also, they were very confused. Initially, they opposed. Then they said that this will not be coming again. This will be just one installment thing. Then they said that they are doing just for elections. So they were not clear that how to first of all react and then to set their own narrative. And by the time they decided to have their own narrative, there was just 20 or 18 or 20 days to polling, which is very little time for any narrative to come along. And yes, the constitution narrative or other such narratives were not holding ground, especially because the elections are localized. And in our party, we try to localize elections as much as possible with the local manifestos, etc., so that we can see that the narrative is specific to the constituency and the candidate, and not, if anything negative comes around, we can be able to hold our fort.
So are you giving, many are saying that one singular factor which dominated this election and is responsible for this kind of landslide for the Mahayuti is Ladki Bahin. And the fact that there was DBT, direct benefit, which happened to most of these women across Maharashtra. So they had tried that party, and that is the reason why they went ahead with it. How much of Ladki Bahin was the factor in this election for this kind of victory, Mr. Arora?
Oh, definitely. Ladki Bahin is the clear runaway winner. And I think if opposition, what they tried to do with Ladki Bahin was something they should have considered, that they have been implementing such kind of guarantees or schemes in their own states as well. So to criticize them, they should have thought about it twice. Because if the schemes are getting implemented and there are electoral benefits or political dividends that the party is reaping, they should have thought twice before criticizing it. First they said that it is going to be withdrawn, then they said this is buying of votes, then they said there are multiple installments not going to come in. And credit to Mr. Ajit Pawar and the UT partners that they were able to disburse 5 installments of it, which lent credibility that this scheme is there to stay. Number one. Number two, with the Ladki Bahin Yojana, the schemes don't win elections on their own, and the governments don't win elections. It is the parties who take those schemes to the voters, and in a cluttered political space as cluttered as Maharashtra with 6 symbols on display, it was very difficult, I can tell you, for the ladies to understand that which symbol they need to press, because they were They were going to vote for Ladki Bahin Yojana, that was a given. But which symbol to go and press, for that the credit should be given to all political parties of the alliance, that they were able to convey to the voters.
I think that's the central pivot around which a lot of other strategies also came through, the micromanagement, as Mr. Arora was also telling us. Thank you so much. Naresh Arora, thank you so much. Congratulations today. You and the party that you're working at this moment, the leader you're working at this moment, are one of the big winners of this election in Maharashtra.